that to be John in, who's in the waiting room. And welcome, John, if you wouldn't mind popping your camera on when you can. Yeah, there he is. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, everybody. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here tonight or this morning for this little lecture. From doubt to decision. So there's a couple of people here I haven't met yet. What's your name there with your, is it DALMC is what's your name?
Hi, I'm
Hey,
Dallas.
what is it?
Dallas.
Dallas, lovely to meet you.
Yes, yes. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Happy to
lovely
be.
to meet you. And Annika, it's lovely to meet you too. The rest of the people on the call are all already Mana students. So it's lovely to meet you both. Thank you so much for coming. Um,
And
okay.
Nika's joining in from Germany even. She's one of my
Oh,
besties
is she
from
one of your
Berlin. It's so
friends?
sweet.
Oh,
Hello.
that's so
Hi,
beautiful.
Schnecke.
Oh,
Hi,
that's so
hi.
beautiful. Thank you for inviting her. And here's Erica jumping in from Ireland. We're all over the world, all over the place. Hello, Erica. Welcome, darling. Lovely to have
Hi,
you.
hi, I'm here.
All right, beauties. So, as you know, the way with mana, this is a heart transmission. This is not something to be taking in with the mind. So, we're here to feel. And so, in order to do that best, I'm going to ask us to just take a couple of minutes to drop in together. So, if you'd like to just close down your eyes, and if you can just turn the phone off or turn the notifications off and create some space, not just for you, but for everyone else in this group, knowing that, when one of us is distracted, it does distract the whole container. That's it. Okay, so we're going to begin with a few deep breaths. So just take your breath a little deeper than it has been in your own pace, whatever feels good to you. But just making it a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. And don't forget to enjoy that process. It's beautiful to enjoy the breathing. And so just deeply breathing in and out. And I want you to become aware of your body as you breathe. Just feel yourself, feel the weight of your body, feel the shape that your body is in, whether you're seated or standing. Just feel your body, become aware of yourself. And every time you exhale, I'd like you just to let go more. See if you can get heavier and even heavier when you exhale. And I want you to bring your attention to your beautiful heart for a moment. And I want you to call yourself to this little gathering, this sacred space, this webinar that we're going to share together for the moment. Just call yourself here because life is very distracting, as we know, it's very busy. And we can come into this space as already quite full up, and that's absolutely fine. But I invite us all just to really call ourselves here. Call your spirit here, call your heart here, call your soul here, so that we can have a really beautiful, potent, and present moment together. Even just a few moments of pure presence is infinitely more powerful than hours of distraction. So just calling yourself here, loves, in this busy world, in this busy life. And again, bringing your attention to your heart. And I want you just to honor whatever you're feeling in your heart in this moment. Whatever feelings you might feel in there, whether it's nervousness or joy, contentment, there may be grief. Whatever is going on in your heart, For a lot of us, there's usually a mix of feelings, quite a number of them at once. Okay, so we're just feeling whatever is felt in your heart and honoring it, just being with it. That's it. Beautiful. And now I want you to imagine and sense and envision your dreams or whatever is important to your heart, whatever you would love in your life, whatever is important to you, whether that's family goals, relationship goals, health. It may be with your art, it might be financial, it might be about where you live and with whom, could be to community. You could have visions for the planet. What you would love. I just want you to focus on that for a moment as you breathe deeply. Just feel and sense those beautiful heart visions that you have. And just feel the way you expand as we contemplate and hold these things that are dear to our heart. Just feel the way you sort of lift out and up as you keep breathing. And if possible, I want you to see if you can sense, it doesn't matter if you can't, but see if you can sense, the way the group here lifts up and outwards as all the beautiful hearts here are holding their visions in sight right now. See if you can sense that. Doesn't matter if you can't. Because, my loves, that is actually the big picture for this webinar, meaning that's the goal, that's the anchor. We're going to talk about doubt, but doubt is the small picture. The big picture is our dreaming, and what's important to our hearts. That's what's important. That's on top of the pile here. Okay. So bringing your attention again, just gently back to your heart for a breath. What it's feeling. And then a nice breath of focus on your body. Feeling your body. And then gently opening up the eyes and coming into the classroom. Hello, Sasha. Lovely to meet you. Hi. All right, well, a very brief intro, because as I said, most people on this call know me already. But for those that are new, my name is Chrissy Charlie, and I'm the founder and the director of the Mana Movement, which is a global and grassroots school for humanity. Okay, this is a place where we run courses and events that have come down from our teachers and our lineages that help people activate their power. And we believe that's love. We believe that's the power of love. And so it's very simple what we do, but it's very efficient. It's very powerful. And so everything, we do aims for that. That's why we're even joining in this lecture today, because I'm passionate about people activating and coming out of the doubt, and coming out of limitation, and especially in the mind. What we know at Mana is that our power as a species is in the heart. It comes from, that is really our HQ of true intelligence. And what we do know is, unfortunately, because of whatever has occurred for millennia on our planet, our species have been squished down, and we are now living mostly through the mind, which isn't our seat of power, and it has consequences. And, those consequences affect us a lot. you know, and as individuals, but as communities and, you know, as a collective, where a lot of the messes that we're seeing are because of this, because we're in our minds and operating from mind. And so this lecture is focusing on sort of doubt, and moving from that back into heart-led decision, like deciding from spirit, deciding from heart. And yeah, this is it's a definitely worth discovering doubt, because of course we all have a sense of doubt already. Do you know, like that's what drew you here, is that we, you know that doubt is debilitating, but I feel like all of us, myself included, have a lot more to learn about it, like have a lot more to understand about the subtle metaphysics of like what is actually going on with doubt, and how to maneuver around it masterfully, swiftly, which is masterfully. But you know, like as swiftly as we can is move out of a state of doubt. You know, we have in the Andes, we have a lot of teachers in the Andes, and you know, my spiritual path is there, and a lot of our team, you know, we walk an Andean path, and you know, some of the most profound teachings of the highest level lineage carriers over there teach us that doubt and guilt are the lowest frequencies that a human being can sit in, the very lowest. And that's very interesting. When I first heard that, you know, it's worth contemplating. I honestly don't want anyone here to just sort of believe anything that I'm saying. I'm not telling you to believe anything. Rather, it's just about feeling into it yourself, or just allowing for the possibility, just opening to the possibility. And so, yes, you know, when I first heard that, I thought, no, surely there's heavier or lower frequencies for humans than doubt, like surely. But as I've, you know, been discovering that, and even more so today, like I've sort of really been pulling it apart today, I'm understanding it more, and what I think Puma was meaning, you know, when he shared that with me. And you know, what I do know, loves, is that we are uber powerful creators. Who here already knows that? Raise your hand if you know that you or the human race are powerful creators. Right. Yeah. We're born to create. Like that's what we came in to do, is to experience the universal's creative power through us. Like we are in God's image. That's literally what that means. Like we have the power to create in the 3D with just our heart, with no movement whatsoever. Do you know, like that's what we do. We can do that. And as we all also know, you know, the truth of that has been watered down or suppressed to us for a very long time. And so we sort of come through life thinking we have to learn a lot about how to be successful or buoyant or win in this world. And really, you know, when we doubt, it's like we are actively denying that truth, that we are powerful spiritual beings. That's what's happening. When we doubt, we're saying, no. Essentially, we're saying, no. Everyone else is powerful, but I am not like that. I don't have the same makeup as the next person. I'm different. I'm not powerful. I'm not creative. That's essentially what we're doing when we are doubting from mind or sitting in doubt. We are electing ourselves really on the flip side of the truth. So the truth, we're creators. When we doubt, we're saying, I'm not a creator. Okay. And it has a lot of consequences in our day-to-day lives. And most of them, I would bet, we're not even aware of. We're not even aware of the subtle dullness on us spiritually of doubt and hidden doubt. Does anyone get a sense of that already? Like if you were just to sort of feel into your life, can you sense already that there may be more doubt than you're aware of? Just like an overarching program of doubt. Anybody? Yes, there are some people. Thanks. Yeah. If you respond with your hand, then I know you're with me. And you don't have to agree or whatever, but yeah, give me some feedback, it'd be great. Okay, yes, good. Okay, so loves, we're going to interact a little bit on this webinar. I'd like you to, if you've got a keyboard, get ready to pop things in the chat box. So basically and hello Pam and hello Lisanne, if you could kindly turn your cameras on. We like to be with faces in the Mana classroom because this is a class of humans. And so we would love to see you and to have you with us. If you could kindly do that, that would be wonderful. Okay, so firstly, loves, in the chat box, I want you to pop in, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 adjectives about how doubt feels to you. So you might need to take a moment because we don't even really assess this much. What does doubt feel like? Like imagine when you're in doubt of self or of life or whatever it is, how does it feel? Okay, so let's go into the chat box. Sneaky and pointy. Interesting. Debilitating. Isolating. Heavy. Thank you, Sasha. Heavy as well, Vasa. Thank you. Limiting. Yes. Yes, limiting is what do you mean limiting, guys? Can you make that even like how do you feel that limit? Because remember, everything is somatic. We want to be very aware of the somatics in the body. So how do you feel limit in the body? Is it heavy or is it, yeah, caged in? Thank you. Yep, suppressed, restricted, mindy. Yeah, yeah. Conflicted, interesting. Avoidance, unworthy. Yep, unsure. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so it's not a nice place to hang out, as we know. Distrustful. Yeah, thank you. Yes, that's right. It's not a nice place to hang out. And what we discovered earlier today is that really when we are in lower frequencies, which doubt immediately puts us into, it because the truth of our spirit, the truth of our ability to create whatever it is we want to, it's a fine frequency. It's high. Do you know, it's akin to truth. It's akin to the power of love, our spirit, like it's high. And so when we're saying, no, that's not me, and we sort of elect ourselves in a low frequency, what happens is we end up magnetizing more. Do you know, because that's essentially what happens when you're in a shit or when you're in your baggage or when you're in your doubt and what happens is as who's experienced this, where more heavy energy comes to you, do you know, more challenge, or you're walking through the street and everyone seems cross around you, and you're literally magnetizing more of it. So it's so important for us to spot it more, okay? So we can not only lift ourselves, but that we can essentially be more safe even. Do you know, even more safe energetically is to come out of that doubt, okay? Because it is low. Okay, so what do you doubt? Do you know, because there's a lot of things that we could doubt, certainly. And as I mentioned before, like doubting life, doubting humanity. Like a lot of people are in a lot of doubt about humanity, even, which, with what we're witnessing from said leaders, like a lot of people are in a lot of doubt about our future, about the planet. about Mother Earth, like really there can be some quite big existential doubt in people, in you maybe. But I think it's powerful for us maybe just to even focus on the doubts we have about ourselves, because that's prevalent, like that's really what comes up a lot, is where we doubt ourself. And so again, in the chat box, share, if you feel to, it'd be good to, what you doubt about yourself. And before you chuck it in, I invite you to try and be as specific as you can. For example, I doubt my power. Too vague. Way too vague. What do you mean, your power? Your power to do what? I doubt my ability to complete this project I have. Do you see? Like, be really specific. Okay, so what is it that you doubt, loves? Pop it in the chat box. And allow that there may be many, but just chuck one or two in. Thank you, River. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha and Erica. Yeah, so Erica, when you compare yourself to others, what are you doubting? That's not, you've got to be really, see, this is the thing, loves. If we want to dissolve doubt, you've got to be really clear on it. So what do you doubt? If you compare yourself to others, that's the byproduct, or that's, but what happens? Like, what are you doubting? We want to get very clear on it. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, that's great. Super specific. Yep. Okay, because okay, so the person I want to be, again, Carl, can you be more specific than that? Do you know, like, so, because if I doubt the person I want to be, do you know, like, what is it you doubt that you can't create? Do you know, like, it's because really it relates to creation. Because we're creators, right? So when we doubt something, we're doubting that we can create something. Even if it's, I want to be confident. We're doubting that we can create confidence within ourselves. Do you know, it's all about a creation. Okay, so if you can see what it is you doubt that you can pull off or can't, what is it that you can't pull off? What are you doubting? Then this, thank you. Thank you, Polly. Powerful. It's super powerful. Thank you, Dallas. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, already, loves, can you feel how, as we are sort of putting a much more of a focus on the specifics, we're getting closer to it? Can you feel that? Like getting good, because it's very important not to be vague. Okay. Vague is like, it's a disaster. And so many people are so vague about life, about where they're going, about what they want, about whatever it is. Like, vagueness is not it's not powerful, loves. And when we're vague with the universe, we get vague results in response. This is one of the teachings of our late teacher, Liz Gilbert Grant. She just said, no. You need to be specific. You need to be specific with the universe. Do you know, you really do. And the same with when we are dissolving our limitations. So when, like, we're looking for this doubt, this negative mind, right? We need to hunt it. We can't just be like, oh, I've got a bit of doubt. I doubt myself. I doubt myself. I doubt myself. What? Too vague. What exactly are you doubting? Okay. And then we're getting much closer to disarming it. Does that make sense, loves? So what I highly recommend is another time, potentially, after this webinar or when you feel to, is doing some journaling with this and choosing different parts of your life. You could put, get columns out or just list, right? different areas of your life, a little bit like we've done in the lowest common denominator exercise, loves, in the flows key, for those that have done the humanity training. And so you've got the different parts of your life that are important to you. Do you know, social life, it could be romantic life, your health, your money flows, your art, maybe adventure and travel, your spiritual path, your blood family, or just all the different parts, whatever's important to you. And then just take a moment and feel and see if you can weed out doubts. Okay, it could be doubts about your family. Oh, doubt we'll ever be very close. Do you know, like, and then they just sit there. They just sit there, these subtle negative mind creations. So get them out. Okay, what do I doubt? Oh, I doubt that, you know, I can create harmony in my family. I doubt I'll ever be close to my father. I doubt I'll ever make a lot of money that I feel financially free. I doubt, whatever it is, but the more specific you are, the better. Okay. So good to be specific. Now, essentially, doubt is what I sense is that doubt is, it's kind of like, well, it's a negative piece of mind, certainly, it's negative, but it's also a little bit of like an obsession. It feels like and even though it might be subtle and it might not be upfront in our minds all the time, it may just be subtle, but it's kind of like, do you get the sense that there's a bit of a hamster wheel feeling about the doubt? It just sort of goes round and round and round and round. You do, Ashley? You can sense that? Yeah, it's kind of like a broken record, like a feeling of broken record. And in a sense, it's like hearing, it's like hearing, what am I saying? I don't know. It's just like we're kind of like obsessed with ourselves and singing our inabilities over and over and over to ourselves over and over. Like if you look at it closely, it's a little bit sort of self-obsessed. Doubt is very stuck on ourselves. Like, oh, I can't, I can't, I can't, I won't, I won't, I can't, I can't, I won't, I won't, I won't. And it's like, no, come on, woman up, man up. And the fact is, you can create. Full stop. The truth is you can create. All right. And so when we slow down enough to catch the doubt by the tail, meaning you know exactly what you're doubting, it's not vague anymore. Okay. So, like with some of what was it you said? I'm sick of my own shit. Ashley says, it's good when you get sick of your own shit. That's one of the most powerful places to be. When your back's against the wall and you've had enough, it's like perfect time for change. Yes, that's exactly right. But when you get specific and you can see that doubt, right? And you recognize essentially that it's not the truth. Like, oh, I doubt if I can, like Ita was saying this morning, learn French. She had this doubt, oh, I can't learn French. And it's like, hold on, anyone can learn French. Like man, woman, child, like anyone can learn French. Anyone, like anyone can make $1 million. Anyone. Like we all have that ability, yes or yes, to create anything that we want. That's the truth. Yes or yes. So when we catch this doubt by the tail, then you've basically created a modicum of space. All right. So we are moving away from hamster wheel doubt that is just underlying, inaudible, controlling us daily. We're not even realizing, but we're under this, to now we're turning toward it. We're going toward it. We're catching it, going, oh, that's what's in there. And when you do that, you actually open up a portal, a little portal of space where there wasn't any before. You open up some space, and in that space, you have choice. And that's the most powerful part about being a creative human, is you have choice. And so in that space, you can then choose, am I going to continue listening to untruth and peddling untruth in my mind and getting these results that I'm getting? Am I going to continue? It's totally up to you. You can continue as long as you like. It's choose your own adventure. But essentially, when you have space, you can then choose. Am I going to continue listening to that? The untruth that I can't, or I don't have the ability to X, Y, Z. Or am I going to actually step into truth that I can create that? Of course I can. I can create the confidence to be a powerful speaker. I can create trust in my community as a healer. I can create, like, of course you can. Of course you can. But this is where it will take us showing up, loves. Do you know, meaning, as we know, evolution requires elbow grease. It requires you turning up and doing the damn work when no one's watching. Do you know, not being spiritually lazy and just continuing to go into doubt. No, catch it. I've got choice. What am I choosing? No, I can bloody do this. And the doubt ripples off and out. Like, you might even be able to feel it right now. Like, if you were to even just catch the tail of this piece of doubt that you popped in the chat box, do you know, do that. Like, go right up to it until your nose is touching that doubt, and really look at it, and then bring in the power of choice. Now, as we know at Mana, you don't need to know how you're going to create those things. Remember, decision does not care for how. You don't need to know the how. That will appear once you make that decision that you are a creator and you can do this. Okay, but the really powerful thing is catching it. And what I noticed for myself, loves, today is that I guess what I want to say is, when you next feel stuck or triggered, okay, and it could be for whatever reason, 1,000 reasons that, you know, that could happen for us. But the next time you feel it, I want you to do what we're doing here. I want you to apply doubt to the stuckness you feel. Because I had a very interesting experience this morning where I was feeling stuck and triggered. And I was searching gently, but searching for the emotional sort of hooks of it. I was like, what is this in me and my heart? Like, what is it? Do you know, when rather I applied doubt to it, I went, no, what am I doubting in this situation? And a whole level of awareness opened up to me that I wouldn't have seen if I was treating it like an emotional issue. I went, right, no, come on. What are you doubting? And I found the answer very, my God, I'm doubting. I'll tell you, I was waiting for a communication from someone. I wanted a communication from someone. And I didn't know the best way to go about it, whether to lean in and start the communication or to lean out and wait for the person to initiate this communication. And I was getting myself in a bit of a tither about it. I was like, oh, and I wasn't feeling, well, yeah, I'd lost my peace. And I went, and I was like, oh, is this, as I said, I was thinking of like past sort of emotional triggers and, and then I went, no, no, no. What are you doubting actually, Chrissy? In this moment, what do you doubt about you? And I got it. I was like, wow, in this moment, I'm doubting that I can create or be stable and peaceful. Do you know, no matter what happens with this communication, whether I hear from this person or not, I'm doubting that I won't be okay if I don't have that communication. I'm doubting that I won't be able to just be peaceful. And when I got it from there, then it became a creative issue. Do you know, rather than about something emotional, it's like immediately it was just creation. I was like, no, of course I can create that. Of course I can. Of course I can. Do you know? And immediately I felt freedom. Like the issue just rolled off and away. The heaviness just absolutely disappeared. And I thought to myself, far out, I wonder how many instances of being stuck actually relate to us being in a frequency of doubt. And so I want you guys to check this out for yourself, because I'm sort of getting an awareness that we're in doubt more than we realize. Do you know? And it may sort of have triggered threads from something that occurred here or there. That may be right, but right now we're doubting something about ourselves. Do you know? And as I've said, like it's a low frequency, it's not a good one. And so, yeah, catching it and opening up some space where you reinstate the truth, which is not, I can create anything. And in stating that, do you know, that may mean that we need to reach out for help. It doesn't necessarily mean we do it all by ourselves. Do you know, like, in creating, right now, I can create that, and I'm going to ask that person for support, and I'm going to ask that person for their opinion, and I'm going to get in the help I need. And like, that's part of the creation. That's wise creation, creating with others, collaborating with others. You see, my loves. So, would anyone like to share here or ask anything? How are you going with what I'm saying? Yes, Vasa.
Hi, Chrissy. Yeah, so sometimes I feel like then when I speak it out loud, my doubt, or write it out, it's almost like becoming even more present. Almost like, my words are becoming my reality, my manifestation. So how do you really like alchemize through, okay, here's the doubt. My doubt right now is the relationship with my older brother. Do I really have the power of healing this relationship? And when I say that out loud, I can see it's even becoming emotional. Yeah, that I have the doubt that if this is ever going to happen and if I have really the power to heal this relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you've raised that, darling. It's a really good question, because what I do know is that there's basically two ways for us to move the doubt. Okay, so one of them is what I just shared, where we get clearer than we are right now about it, and then we can actually just opt out of it. Do you know, which I from watching and feeling you guys, I could feel that some of you could see, oh, I can do that immediately. Like we used to call it upon inspection with Liz. Like upon inspection of something is enough at times to flip it, right? And then other times, like what you're saying, Vasa, where it's like, oh my God, I just don't know if I can move this doubt. All that is because of upset. It's just a build-up of upset, you know, at where it hasn't flowed yet with him, or where it means a lot to you, or whatever, you know, the threads are with this situation. Because what I do know is that when we are building something that is very important to us, like restoring love in family relationships, it takes willingness, you know, and that willingness, which is, you know, what we teach about at Mana, it can be the willingness for it to take 20 years. Like, am I willing for this to take a lot longer than I thought, for that person to be on their rhythm? Do you know, like, are we willing for that? And, you know, we may not be at times, and that's fine. But yeah, but coming back to like moving the doubt, if anyone here finds that there's some doubt that they just can't simply elect to not listen to anymore, knowing that it's untruth. Because again, the truth is you can create it. You can create healing. So, you know, that's what you were saying, Bassa. You want to create healing with your brother, and you are, love, with everything that you're doing on your side, you are, regardless of what his behavior is. Do you know, like, you are healing it. But, you know, if there are pieces of doubt that just, oh, we feel bogged down in it. No, I just do not believe I can, you know, heal my trauma. I just don't. Like, if we are stuck, it just means there's a backlog of upset that needs to be cleared. We call it heavy energy or hucha. And when we get it off and get it out, ideally in session work that we do, then the ability to make those choices comes back in. Does that make sense, loves? Do you know, wherever we feel like we can't make a choice, it's because we are sitting under heavy energy. That's all. And the more of that we move, and you know, some of us might have it, you know, we've got in different areas, of course, but the more of that moves, the more we are able to feel space. We're not as heavy with something, we feel space, and in space there comes choice. So that's what I'd say to you, love, is it's just upsetting. You know, it's just, as you're saying, it's heavy. You know, it's hard for you, darling. And it's beautiful in a way. Like, that's where it's at. Do you know? And we will, you know, I know you're not giving up, do you know, and we're not giving up on you nor your brother. And so it's just being real with ebbs and flows. Right now, it just feels like I cannot do it. And let yourself, yeah, mama, let yourself have that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're really brave what you're doing with your brother. A lot of people just give up on family members. Just give up. Not you. Not you. Because you walk your talk. Good on you. Yeah. And may that be an inspiration to all of us. Do you know? Because we've all got relationships that need more of our love and care. Do you know, we can all go into doubt about it. Oh, do you know, but again, wherever we're in doubt, we're stripping ourselves of that rightful cosmic badge of our blueprint as a human being to create powerfully. Yes, oh yes, that's what we are. And we have to claim that, loves. We have to come out of this shitty doubt. It's really shitty. Do you know that? Doubt is shitty stuff. Do you know? But as I said, it's choose your own adventure, as we all know. Like, you do whatever you like, have your own experiences. But, you know, I think the key here is to get more understanding of what you're doubting, so that then you can respond maturely and powerfully to it. Okay, does that make sense, loves? Because, what Liz taught us is the negative mind, which is doubt, which is control, limitations, lots of different ways that the mind negatively operates. But the negative mind, the doubts, they actually play out 100%. They play hard. They don't give up. They'll just keep worrying and keep telling you you can't and keep telling you you can't and keep telling you you can't. Who already knows that? Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, if we want to dissolve that, we have to show up 120. You can't show up 80% to the negative mind that plays out 100. Does that make sense? We have to really show up. And the fucking awesome thing is, when you do really show up and do the work and come out of spiritual laziness and right, no, I am going to catch this doubt shit as much as I can. I'm going to get Chrissy's help. I'm going to get Vass's help. Or do you know, like what and we actually go for it. It can be quite swift that we come way outside of a paradigm that we didn't even know we were in, quite trapped in doubt. So, showing up to it is very powerful. And that's why I was saying, like, be specific. We've all been way too vague about it. We've all been way too vague. We want to catch it, and then get a spotlight on it. All right, let me have a look at you, little mind bug. Let me really have a little look at you. What are you saying? What rubbish? Because we don't listen enough. Like, clearly, we're like, oh yeah, I'm no good, I can't do it, I can't. But we don't go, no, what are you actually saying to me? Turning the tables. But I have to admit, like, this stuff really is so supported with those keys. Like, when you've got those keys in your pocket from the humanity training, and I'm not quite sure if I imagine Vass's friends know what I'm talking about because she's very passionate about it. Pam, I've told you about the course. Those keys really do make these kinds of moves much more easily, because we're like, right, get a good bloody attitude about this stuff. Like, flip the attitude. Because again, doubt is essentially and you could see it as a negative attitude. It's a way, that a filter that we're seeing the circumstance. And so seeing, catching that filter and being able to shift it to, no, I can create here. I can create. I'm going to get the help I need, not alone. And to move out of that. Know you can do anything. Like, that is our birthright. Like, that's the truth of us. Like, we are miraculous beings that live in many, many, many dimensions at once and have incredible latent abilities, and we're doubting the simplest things. And it's time to stop that, I reckon. It's time to stop that, isn't it, Rev? Nodding your head. It's time to stop it. Yeah. And so, as we know, like, living from the heart, like, when we want to create those beautiful things, it does require a decision in the heart. So all those things that you popped into the chat there, loves, that you've had doubt about, the doubt that you have, you can't create it. We want to come out of the mind and bring the creative HQ and the decision down to the heart. And because that is where, from there, the 3D fits itself, not from your mind. So if it's like, right, I doubt that I can make a lot of money, and you go, no, that's bullshit. I can create just as much money as the next person. I can. I can. I might need to learn a few things, but I can do it. like anyone can do it, right? And then we bring that decision down to the heart and we feel it as we've been taught in the training. Only then will your creation come into effect. And that may be, you know, a creation of emotion, like Pan, you're saying, I want to feel confident as a speaker. That will only come into creation when you send it out from here. It has to be sent out from the heart for the universe to catch it and knit the 3D around you and create the path. It's the only way it's going to happen. Okay, so it is, you know, it's, I mean, a lot of you know this stuff and are practicing it and are mastering it. But it is, yeah, it's a complete paradigm shift, isn't it, from how we were all raised? How we were all raised. So, you know, doubting and thinking and analyzing and comparing and controlling and expecting and all this mind push and pull. And that's not where we create from. Would anyone like to ask anything or share anything? How are you guys going? Anyone want to share anything?
Share real quick.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Dalla. Thanks. Yes, we can.
Nice. This was so great. I honestly, I trust Vaza deeply, so she's told me a bit about the Mana movement, so I was excited to check it out. But I kind of just hopped on here, not, I just went with it. You know, I didn't read a whole lot of the emails, to be honest. So I was like, yeah, if Vaza says it's good, it's good. So here I am, and I'm not gonna lie, when we first got started, I had some resistance. I was like, oh, we're just gonna dive into like feeling these hard feelings. Like, I don't know if I want to sit here. Like, I'm doing a lot of training to reprogram my brain to like not go there. You know what I mean? So there was a resistance at first. But then once I dropped into it and allowed myself to spotlight something, and then you started to show how we can use doubt as like a skill, as a tool to like question the why the fuck can't you do it, and that really hit home for me. And I was like, yes, I am so moved by this, and I really like how that set in my brain that like every single thing that we feel as a human being has a way to enlighten and evolve, you know, and not to necessarily shy away from it, but like learn how to learn from it. And so that was really beautiful. And I'm so grateful that I stuck around through the resistance. So
Good on
yeah,
you.
thank you.
We are too, and good on you, because resistance is meant to be dissolved. Do you know, most people feel it and backdoor it. You know, this is something we teach, Dallas, you know, about reframing our relationship to resistance for it to be mature. Oh, I'm resisting. There's something here for me. There's something here for me. And, you know, Liz, our like teacher, would say all we need to do to expand and evolve is to head toward the limitation. Because we're naturally powerful, beautiful, spontaneous, creative, generous of spirit, expanded, high frequency. That's who we are. We don't need to touch that part. We need to go towards what's limiting us. We need to head powerfully toward what is blocking us, to dissolve it. So at Mana, we do the opposite, love. We get on our gumboots and we fucking head straight toward those blocks. Do you know? And we see that's the most efficient way for the human race to come into their power, is to do it. And the beautiful thing is it's safe. You know, a lot of spaces aren't safe out there to do it. And that's, you know, but here it's safe, do you know, and we do it together, and you know, we're all in the same boat. You know, Ita here in the purple is my right-hand woman in Mana, and she is an absolute legend and powerhouse and the epitome of safety. And you know, and we're always digging our shit out as well. Like, we're with you. We're doing it all together, always. But thank you for that beautiful share. It's so good to have you here. You're so welcome. Would anyone else like to share anything or ask anything about this? Polly, did you? Yes.
One thing that I thought was interesting that didn't come up in the courses that I've done, because I'm trying to go into this next one, just let it land really in my body. And what came up this time when feeling into how does doubt feel, it honestly felt easier. It felt almost like a cop out, almost permission not to go there. Like feeling, do you know what I mean? Like it felt like, oh, it's safer not just not going there, you know? It's safer. Oh, if there's doubt there, then that's not for me. And so that was something that I thought was interesting is, yeah, it felt like when I felt into doubt, it did feel easy. It did feel like there's like a safety there almost, which I thought was interesting. And I think, yeah, this time I'm just determined to let it, not determined, but I'm just a lot more open than I have been in the past to let it hit in my body, not just intellectualize it, not just, okay, I get it, you know, I get but to actually let it hit in. It's a very different experience that I've noticed just in this call already, which is cool.
Beautiful, darling. Yeah, that's it. It is a whole nother level when we feel our reaction to the thing rather than think it through, you know, and be with the resistance in the body or be with the discomfort or whatever it may be bringing up. But the idea is to sense into doubt around the things you would love to create and love to be. Not necessarily, I'm not sure if you're saying, but sometimes, you know, people can go, well, I doubt that I want to go down that dark alley. And it's like, no, 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 we're not talking about things we don't want to do. We're looking at the things that we do want to be, do, or have, and the doubt that sits there around those things. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's almost like it gives permission to play small, and it makes me feel more content and makes me feel more okay with playing small.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not exploring oh no, I'm doubting here. It's just that's just a wall, you know. So that's
Thank
my
you.
limitations, you know.
Yeah.
So totally.
Thank you. It's similar to what Dallas is just saying. Do you know, we hit into the resistance and go, oh, this mustn't be for me. Chum, and we're out. When it's like, no, usually there's gold. There's gold there. If it's again, in the area of something we want to create, not a resistance to walk down a dangerous alley. Of course, we feel resistance there. But when it's, you know, for something that, you know, is potentially taking us somewhere down the road of life. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And Polly, you're coming to the Salt Lake City
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
seminar. That's so great. Good for you. I'm so happy for you. You're going to love it. Would anyone else like to share anything around this topic? Yes, Sasha.
Hi, thank you. Um, I'm wondering how this plays out, and maybe this is a bigger conversation, but when making a decision about two paths. So you're doubting which path is the right one. Um,
Yes, that's a huge.
right? So you're identifying how, how the doubt feels, but then you still have a decision to make.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. That's we teach a lot about that actually. So I could probably talk for 4 hours about that. Very passionate about that topic. Very, you know, and there's actually a lot in it. But simply, I would just initially say there's no such thing as a wrong decision. There's no such thing as a wrong decision. So we can be like, oh, A or B, and lose a lot of time and energy and sleep over it. But very simply put, Sasha, any decision is better than indecision. All right. And it's simply because when you decide A or B, and if you can't decide between A or B, flip a bloody coin. Just flip a coin and move, because it's the movement, but you know, between here and A or here and B that is going to give you the information, the data, the life experiences, the soul lessons that you need. Whether they're good or bad doesn't matter. They're powerful lessons. And that's what life is about. It's about the movement, the lessons, the falling off the bike, the picking self up again. Do you know, rather than that state of indecision that a lot of us spend a lot of time in. Who else knows that they can get stuck in indecision between two choices? And we know what that feels like. We discuss this quite a lot at Mana. So that'd be the first thing I'd say about that, love. Do you know? And you know, also I'd sort of say if you have a choice between two things and it's not obvious which one is better, do you know? Because like if one is really obviously better, you wouldn't be an indecision. You'd just be going straight towards town A, for example. But if that's not the case, if you just can't, because it means they're both good. It means that they're both going to lead to different experiences, and there's no such thing as a wrong decision. You know, there really isn't. But we pull that, you know, deeply apart in the humanity training. So I really encourage you to come, and in the Heart-Led Living course as well, which is an online course that we have. We pull that apart a lot, and it's very powerful to get those teachings in. Just changes everything. So I encourage you to try that one day. Yes, thank you for your question. We might have time for one more. Does anyone have another question? Or are we feeling like we've got something to work with? Yeah, we're going to go off and work with that. Yeah. So just, you know, just simply apply. Next time you're stuck, just go, oh, is doubt here? And track it, hunt it out. What am I doubting? Get clear on it. Okay, is that the truth? Is that truth in the universe? And see if you can just flip it yourself and move into creation. And if not, you just get some help. You don't go, oh, it's heavy, that one's stuck. Oh, well, I'm stuck. No, reach out to us, book a session, move it. Let's move the energy. Let's keep going. Okay, loves, because our heart creations are very, very important. Very, very important. Yes. So we are offering for new students, and there's a few new people here. If you wanted to have like a little 15-minute one-on-one, you know, on the phone about anything here that, you know, this is raised, Ita and I are conducting those in the next few days. We're going to send you a little link out after this call, and if you would like to book, you know, a little chat with one of us, just, you know, about this or about anything at Mana, please, we'd love to talk more about what we do and to meet you more. Yeah, and finally we have, I may as well mention it because a lot of you are in the States, and Pam, I know that you've been showing some interest in coming to the seminar. So yeah, in 2.5 weeks, we start a 3-date seminar. To Ita's leading that. And we're going to Sedona, Salt Lake City, and Bozeman with the Humanity Seminar. And it's just, I mean, get it into you. It's so powerful. Like, it's the most powerful experience I've ever had in my life when I sat the course 17 years ago. Like, hands down, nothing has come close. And so I highly recommend jumping in or doing it again, going deeper. It's very, very powerful, loves. It does, it changes lives. It's so powerful. And then finally, we have a beautiful online course called Heart-Led Living. It starts in October, and that's a really beautiful self-paced course that does go through the dynamics of decision and indecision and other topics that are really powerful. A few of you here are doing it with me right now. And that's in October. And we're going to offer everyone here a fat discount to the October course if you'd like to do that. And again, that will be in the little email that we send out after this to you. All great opportunities, loves, to deepen our awareness of ourselves and our power, you know, on behalf of not just yourself and for your own benefit, but for your family and community, and essentially for the species. Like, each time one of us steps more into the power of our heart, it ripples out very, very, very much. And it is what our world needs now. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, needs us all being much more loving. Even the ones that think we're all loving, we got so much more we can open our heart to. So much more. So much more, okay? All right. Well, it's been beautiful to be with you all. Thank you for coming. Lovely to meet our new sisters here, Sasha and Dallas and Annika. Thank you for coming along. And to all the Mana tribe, Pam, beautiful to see you. Lovely to have you here, and thank you for your support always. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, love warriors. Let's go. Much love. Bye from Paris. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, everyone.